Brain. The brain is your body's command center, controlling everything you do, think, and feel. It processes sensory information, stores memories, generates emotions, and coordinates movement. Without it, you wouldn't exist as a conscious being. It's divided into major regions. The cerebrum handles thinking and voluntary movement. The cerebellum manages balance and coordination. The brain stem controls automatic functions like breathing and heart rate. Despite being only 2% of your body weight, it uses 25% of your energy. It's constantly active, even during sleep, consolidating memories and clearing waste. The brain can also rewire itself throughout life, forming new neural connections. This neuroplasticity allows you to learn, recover from injuries, and adapt. Damage to the brain affects everything else because it's the master controller of your entire system. Heart. The heart is a muscular pump about the size of your fist, beating roughly 100,000 times per day to circulate blood throughout your body. It has 4 chambers. The upper atria receive blood. The lower ventricles pump it out. Blood flows from the body to the right side, gets pumped to the lungs for oxygen, returns to the left side, and gets pumped throughout the body. This cycle repeats about 70 times per minute at rest, faster during exercise. The heart adjusts based on your body's oxygen demands. What's fascinating is the heart's electrical system. It generates its own impulses that coordinate each beat. This is why a heart can continue beating even outside the body if supplied with oxygen. It's a self-sustaining pump designed for endurance. Lungs. Your lungs bring oxygen into your blood and remove carbon dioxide. Every breath involves these spongy structures expanding and contracting inside your chest. Air travels down the trachea, splits into bronchi leading to each lung, then branches into smaller tubes ending in tiny air sacs called alveoli. This is where gas exchange happens. Alveoli are surrounded by capillaries where oxygen passes from air into blood, while carbon dioxide moves from blood into air to be exhaled. Your lungs contain about 300 million alveoli, creating a surface area roughly the size of a tennis court. Breathing is mostly automatic but can be controlled consciously. Your diaphragm contracts and pulls downward, creating negative pressure that draws air in. When it relaxes, air is pushed out. Liver. The liver is your body's largest internal organ, performing over 500 different functions. Located in the upper right abdomen, it's essential for survival. Its primary role is filtering blood from the digestive tract before it circulates elsewhere. It removes toxins, breaks down old blood cells, and processes nutrients. It converts excess glucose into glycogen for storage. The liver produces bile to help digest fats. It manufactures proteins for blood clotting and immune function. It metabolizes medications and alcohol. What's remarkable is its regenerative capacity. You can remove up to 75% of it, and it will grow back to its original size within months. This makes it unique among human organs. Kidneys. You have 2 kidneys, bean-shaped organs, located on either side of your spine, below your rib cage. Their primary job is filtering waste from blood and producing urine. Blood enters through the renal artery. Inside are about 1 million tiny filtering units called nephrons. Each filters blood, removing waste and excess water while retaining what your body needs. The filtered waste becomes urine. Kidneys also regulate blood pressure, balance electrolytes like sodium and potassium, and activate vitamin D for bone health. You can survive with just 1 kidney. Many people donate a kidney and live completely normal lives. However, losing both without dialysis or transplant is fatal within days. Stomach. The stomach is a muscular sac in the upper abdomen that stores food and begins digestion. When you eat, food travels down the esophagus and enters the stomach. Inside, the stomach produces gastric acid and enzymes. The acid breaks down food and kills bacteria. The enzyme pepsin breaks down proteins. The stomach's muscular walls churn and mix food with digestive juices, creating a semi-liquid mixture called chyme. Food stays in the stomach for 2 to 4 hours. Once sufficiently broken down, chyme is released into the small intestine for further digestion. The stomach's lining constantly regenerates because the acid would otherwise digest the stomach itself. A protective mucus layer shields the wall, and cells are replaced every few days. Intestines. The intestines are a long, coiled tube divided into the small intestine and large intestine. Together, They complete digestion and absorb nutrients. The small intestine is about 20 feet long and does most digestive work. Its inner surface is covered with tiny projections called villi that increase surface area for nutrient absorption. Nutrients pass through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream. What remains moves into the large intestine, about 5 feet long. Here, water is absorbed back into the body, and remaining material becomes solid, forming feces. Beneficial bacteria help break down material and produce vitamins. The large intestine stores waste until elimination. Without intestines, your body couldn't extract energy or nutrients from food. Pancreas. The pancreas is a gland behind the stomach, serving two critical functions: producing digestive enzymes and regulating blood sugar. It produces enzymes that break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. These are released into the small intestine to complete digestion. It also produces hormones, most importantly, insulin and glucagon. Insulin allows cells to absorb glucose from blood, lowering blood sugar. Glucagon signals the liver to release stored glucose when blood sugar drops. When the pancreas fails to produce enough insulin or cells become resistant, diabetes develops. Blood sugar rises to dangerous levels, damaging vessels, nerves, and organs over time. Skin. Skin is your body's largest organ, covering about 20 square feet. It's your first defense against the environment, protecting you from injury, infection, and dehydration. Skin has 3 layers. The epidermis is the outermost, constantly shedding and regenerating. The dermis contains blood vessels, nerves, hair follicles, and sweat glands. The deepest layer is fat that insulates and cushions. Skin regulates body temperature through sweating. It produces vitamin D when exposed to sunlight. It contains nerve receptors that detect touch, pressure, temperature, and pain. Skin color comes from melanin, which protects against ultraviolet radiation. The entire outer layer is replaced roughly every month. Eyes. Eyes detect light and convert it into electrical signals your brain interprets as vision. They're complex structures packed into small spheres. Light enters through the cornea, passes through the pupil, and is focused by the lens onto the retina at the back. The retina contains millions of light-sensitive cells called rods and cones. Rods detect light and dark. Cones detect color and detail. When light hits these cells, they generate electrical signals that travel through the optic nerve to the brain, which processes them into images. Your eyes can distinguish millions of colors and adjust to vastly different light levels. Interestingly, they're fully grown by age 3 and don't change size throughout life. Ears. Ears detect sound and maintain balance. Sound waves enter the outer ear and travel to the eardrum, which vibrates. These vibrations pass through 3 tiny bones in the middle ear, amplifying sound and transmitting it to the inner ear. In the cochlea, a spiral structure filled with fluid, vibrations convert into electrical signals. Hair cells inside bend in response to fluid movement, generating nerve impulses that travel to the brain. The inner ear also contains the vestibular system, which controls balance. Fluid-filled canals detect head movements and position, sending signals about your body's orientation. Ears are self-cleaning. Earwax traps dirt and debris, slowly moving outward as new wax is produced. Reproductive organs. Reproductive organs differ between males and females, but serve the same purpose: creating new life. In males, the testes produce sperm and testosterone. Located in the scrotum, they're kept slightly cooler than body temperature for sperm production. Sperm mature and are stored until ejaculation. In females, the ovaries produce eggs and hormones like estrogen and progesterone. Each month, one ovary typically releases an egg. If fertilized by sperm, it implants in the uterine lining and develops into a fetus. If not, the lining sheds during menstruation. The uterus expands dramatically during pregnancy. During childbirth, contractions push the baby through the cervix and vagina. Reproductive organs also produce hormones affecting mood, energy, bone density, and overall health throughout life. 12 organs. 12 specialized systems working together to keep you alive. The brain controls everything. The heart pumps blood. The lungs exchange gases. The liver filters and processes. The kidneys clean waste. The stomach begins digestion. The intestines absorb nutrients. The pancreas regulates sugar. The skin protects. The eyes provide vision. The ears enable hearing and balance. And reproductive organs ensure continuation of life. Each organ is essential. Damage to one affects the others. Your body is an interconnected system where every part depends on the rest. What surprised you most? Drop it in the comments. Your body isn't just a collection of parts. It's a coordinated system of remarkable complexity.